Did you know some of the most iconic actresses of Hollywood's golden era dared to go braless on screen, long before it was mainstream? From Marilyn Monroe to Brigitte Bardot, these bold women challenged the norms and redefined beauty on the silver screen. Let's take a look at the trailblazers who made history without a bra. Marilyn Monroe was one of the most iconic and daring actresses of Hollywood's golden era. Known for her unmatched charm and sensuality, she often challenged fashion norms by appearing braless in both films and photo shoots. In movies like Some Like It Hot, 1959, Marilyn wore form-fitting dresses that highlighted her natural figure, often without any visible undergarments. This bold choice wasn't just for style, it became part of her signature image, symbolizing confidence, femininity, and rebellion against conservative Hollywood standards. At a time when modesty was strictly enforced, Monroe's fearless fashion choices redefined glamour and inspired future generations of actresses to embrace their natural beauty and individuality, both on and off the screen. Brigitte Bardot, the French screen siren of the 1950s and 60s, was a true symbol of rebellion and sensuality. In her breakthrough film And God Created Woman, 1956, Bardot shocked audiences with her bold fashion choices, often going braless in revealing, body-hugging outfits that emphasized her natural figure. Her carefree attitude, both on and off screen, challenged conservative standards of beauty and modesty. Bardot's braless appearances weren't just for shock value, they reflected her belief in personal freedom and feminine independence. At a time when such choices were taboo, she redefined what it meant to be sexy and confident. Her influence stretched far beyond France, inspiring a cultural shift in fashion, cinema, and the portrayal of women worldwide. Sophia Loren, one of the most celebrated actresses of classic cinema, was known not only for her extraordinary talent but also for her natural beauty and graceful sensuality. Unlike some of her contemporaries, Loren's allure was never overly provocative, yet it was undeniably powerful. In the 1963 film Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow, she performed a now iconic striptease scene that captured attention worldwide. The scene, suggestive of bralessness, showcased her confidence and natural charm without crossing into vulgarity. Sophia Loren redefined what it meant to be sexy, not through shock, but through elegance and self-assured femininity. Her wardrobe choices often embraced her curves in a way that appeared effortless and free, challenging the restrictive fashion norms of the era. Loren's legacy lies in her ability to balance class with sensuality, proving that true confidence doesn't need permission, and sometimes, it doesn't need a bra either. Jane Russell made a sensational debut with the 1943 film The Outlaw, a movie that became infamous for its provocative content and her daring appearance. Known for her curvaceous figure, Russell often appeared braless both on screen and in promotional photos, which was quite bold for that conservative era. Her natural look was deliberately emphasized to create a sense of raw sensuality, contrasting with the more restrained portrayals of women at the time. This sparked controversy and censorship battles, as The Outlaw challenged Hollywood's strict moral codes. Jane Russell's unapologetic confidence helped push boundaries in film, opening doors for more open expressions of female sexuality on screen. Her legacy is that of a pioneer who embraced her femininity without shame, changing how actresses could present themselves in an industry that often tried to control their image. Jean Harlo, the original platinum blonde bombshell of the 1930s, was one of the first actresses to bring raw sensuality to Hollywood's silver screen. Long before the Hays Code imposed strict censorship on film content, Harlo was already making bold fashion choices that shocked audiences. In films like Red Dust, 1932, she appeared in silky, clingy dresses, often without a bra, which highlighted her natural curves. Her braless look wasn't just a fashion statement, it symbolized a new kind of screen presence, confident, daring, and unapologetically feminine. At a time when women were expected to appear modest and controlled, Jean Harlo exuded freedom and sexuality. Her style set a precedent for future actresses, pushing Hollywood toward more open, realistic portrayals of femininity. Even today, she's remembered as a trailblazer who redefined glamour and challenged the conservative norms of her time. Rita Hworth. Rita Hworth, the sultry siren of the 1940s, became a symbol of glamour and sensuality with her unforgettable performance in Gilda, 1946. In one of the film's most iconic scenes, she performs a slow striptease, removing just one glove, but her tight-fitting satin gown, worn without a bra, caused just as much of a stir. Hworth's wardrobe often emphasized her natural figure, and her braless appearances, though subtle, added to her reputation as a sex symbol. Despite working under the restrictions of the Hays Code, Rita's style managed to be both seductive and sophisticated. She helped redefine the image of the American pin-up girl and gave women permission to embrace their bodies with confidence. Her combination of elegance and daring influenced fashion trends of the time and paved the way for more liberated female representations in Hollywood. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor, known for her stunning violet eyes and dramatic screen presence, also made bold fashion choices throughout her career. In the 1950s and early 60s, Taylor often wore low-cut, form-fitting dresses that she confidently rocked braless, both in public and on screen. In films like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, 1958, her tight tops and flowing nightgowns were both provocative and elegant. She never shied away from flaunting her femininity, even during an era when modesty was strictly encouraged. Taylor's fearless style choices became part of her allure. She wasn't just a movie star, she was a fashion icon. Her willingness to appear braless reflected her strong personality and defiance of Hollywood's strict beauty standards. Elizabeth Taylor became a symbol of empowered beauty, proving that strength and sensuality could coexist. Ava Gardner was one of the most striking and effortlessly alluring actresses of Hollywood's golden age. With her natural beauty, piercing green eyes, and magnetic screen presence, she stood out not only for her talent but also for her bold sense of self. Known for her rebellious nature and refusal to conform to rigid studio expectations, Ava brought that same freedom to her fashion choices. In films like The Killers, 1946, and The Barefoot Contessa, 1954, she famously wore elegant, body-hugging dresses, often braless, which allowed her figure to flow naturally and authentically. Rather than rely on exaggerated Hollywood styling, Ava embraced her body the way it was, exuding a relaxed sensuality that captivated audiences. Her choice to go braless wasn't about shock value, it was a reflection of her confidence and refusal to be shaped by industry standards. She became a symbol of natural glamour, showing that sex appeal could be subtle, refined, and deeply personal. Off-screen, her free-spirited lifestyle and unapologetic individuality made her a true icon. Ava Gardner didn't just play strong women, she was one. And in doing so, she helped redefine femininity on screen for generations to come. Lana Turner, famously dubbed the Sweater Girl, became a Hollywood sensation not just for her acting talent but for a fashion statement that would leave a lasting cultural impact. Rising to fame in the late 1930s, Turner's trademark look involved wearing tight, form-fitting sweaters, often braless, which emphasized her natural curves. At a time when Hollywood promoted a more conservative image of femininity, her style was considered daring, even provocative. Yet Turner embraced it with confidence, sparking a nationwide trend that celebrated the female form in a more natural and unstructured way. In films like The Postman Always Rings Twice, 1946, her sultry appearance was amplified by her wardrobe choices, subtly challenging the restrictive expectations placed on women both on and off screen. Her decision to often go without a bra wasn't overtly rebellious, but it signaled a quiet confidence and a shift in cultural attitudes toward body image and sensuality. Lana Turner's impact went far beyond fashion. She symbolized a new kind of femininity that was bold, self-assured, and unapologetically glamorous. Her influence helped open the door for more liberated expressions of style and sexuality in Hollywood, making her a true icon of her time. Lauren Bacall was a masterclass in subtle, intelligent sensuality, never relying on overt exposure, yet effortlessly captivating. Known for her smoky voice, sharp wit, and cool, composed presence, Bacall became a symbol of empowered femininity during the 1940s and 50s. Her fashion choices reflected her personality, minimalist, elegant, and quietly rebellious. Often seen in sleek gowns, plunging necklines, and fitted blouses, many of which she wore without a bra, Beall embraced a natural, unstructured silhouette that stood in contrast to Hollywood's obsession with padding and shaping undergarments. In films like To Have and Have Not, 1944, and The Big Sleep, 1946, Beall's on-screen wardrobe reflected this understated sensuality. Her braless looks weren't for shock, they were statements of comfort, confidence, and control. She didn't need to show too much to make a lasting impression. Her allure came from her presence, her poise, and the sense that she knew exactly who she was. In doing so, she redefined glamour, not as something that screamed for attention, but something that radiated from within. Lauren Bacall's style continues to influence modern fashion, proving that sophistication, strength, and sensuality can all exist in one woman, bra or no bra. Jane Mansfield. Jane Mansfield was often seen as the other blonde bombshell of the 1950s, a rival to Marilyn Monroe, but she carved her own unforgettable place in Hollywood history. Known for her exaggerated hourglass figure and playful personality, Mansfield leaned fully into her sex symbol status, often appearing braless both on screen and in real life. Her wardrobe included plunging necklines, skin-tight dresses, and low-cut gowns designed to turn heads, and they did. In films like The Girl Can't Help It, 1956, Mansfield's braless appearance was not just visible, it was a statement. She used her image deliberately, understanding the power of shock and seduction in a tightly controlled industry. Her publicity stunts, many of which involved daring fashion choices, helped her stay in the public eye and push the boundaries of what was acceptable for women in media. But Jane Mansfield was more than her curves, she was savvy. Behind the bombshell image was a woman who understood marketing and wasn't afraid to use her body as part of her brand. By going braless at a time when it was taboo, she helped push Hollywood, and society, one step closer to accepting female agency, body confidence, and unapologetic self-expression.